But that's only step one. The second way we know people will soon, folks, be receiving this mark of the beast, you don't have just a justification. The willingness for people to want it, it's already here. Stop and think about it, folks. It's a two-step plan. If you're going to deceive this whole world into receiving a mark of the beast, then you've got to have not just the justification for it, you got to have the willingness for it, right? You've got to have people who think, man, this is great, I'm going to give it a try, right? Well, guess what, folks? It's already happening. For the first time, this is what's different. For the first time in man's history, people are lining up by the truckloads to receive a microchip implant. In fact, it's so popular, why it's become a family affair. Wouldn't you guys like to do this on a Saturday afternoon? Check this out, folks. It's already happening.
A procedure that takes only seconds to carry out.
And the chip is now extruded, and we're finished.
Has turned the Jacobs family into medical pioneers. They are the first people to get chipped, implanted with a tiny device called a Verichip that emits radio frequencies. It's a personal ID that also contains vital medical information.
It can save a lot of lives, including my dad's, because he has a lot of medical problems, and I want it to be around for a while.
A handheld scanner reads the Verichip. Theoretically, police, paramedics, and hospital workers would use the information during an emergency. Thousands of Americans are already lining up to get them. And Applied Digital Solutions, the company that developed the Verichip, says this might only be the beginning. Company scientists are already working on a global positioning system, similar to what you'd use in your boat or your car, but to track people. And like the Verichip, it would be small enough to implant in someone.
Caught some sunburn, I guess.
Nathan Isaacson's in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease.
I couldn't find my way home. Kind of an embarrassing moment.
He already wears a beeper-like GPS gadget and was also injected with a Verichip. Implanting both devices would give him and his family more peace of mind.
Okay. Yep. And that's it.
So how did it go?
It's a piece of cake. There's virtually no pain.
And Nate can't wait to be chipped.
I'm ready.
And you, I know you're ready.
Definitely ready.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the peace of mind.
Hey, wait a second. Yeah, you saw what I saw, Gary. That wasn't just the implants people were receiving. Where was that one going in? Yeah, you guys are hooked on thumbs. Well, come on, Pastor Billy. I'm telling you what, we are going to ban the deacons from Lockport. This chicken thing you're throwing on your front porch is really freaking you out. You know what I'm saying? We are just going to keep them away because now you're really starting to freak me out. Is that really happening? CBS News is reporting it. Aren't you paying attention to what's going on in the garbage can? Folks, this is what exactly is going on. Not only, here's the point, folks, that's just the tip of the iceberg. See that the conditioning process is working. It's working. And we're so much more pampered, we're productive, and oh, we're so protected. And forget this implant. Not only are families and Alzheimer's patients, here's the point, willingly receiving implants. Get this, a recent poll on MSNBC said 20% of people right now in America are completely willing to get one of those implants, and it's growing. 20% right now say, yes, this is awesome in America. But folks, maybe, wait a second, you're thinking, hey, wait a second. There's just no way. Wait a second, what about those people who are not willing like me? What about those people who are going to say, hey, man, you ain't putting nothing in my arm. I don't care what benefits you say there are. Well, folks, you'll be happy to know they've already thought of it. They've got all bases covered. They've already got that plan figured out. You see, here's what's happening. If you don't want to take one willingly, they're going to make it a necessity if you want to keep your job. Don't think so? It's already moving into the workplace via the employer. Check this out.
There's my chip right there.
So you can actually see it. It's about the size of a grain of rice, and it feels like it too. But what that tiny chip can and can't do has become the source of much concern and confusion.
I was in a grocery store, and a couple ladies said, hey, you're the guy with the chip in your arm, aren't you? You know, run across the scanner so we can see if we get a discount on groceries.
Sean Darks is the CEO of CityWatcher.com, a small company in Cincinnati that's the first U.S. business to use chip implants in its employees.
What you're looking at here is recorded footage back in August of a number of drug deals.
City Watcher provides video surveillance for clients and for the police, and the video that it collects, like this drug bust, is the company's biggest asset, and they say they need to keep it under more than just lock and key. Chip implants have been common in pets for several years, giving the owner peace of mind that their lost animal could be identified. And for retail giant Walmart, the chips are used as smart barcodes to keep track of thousands of products. But for use in people, well, privacy advocates think we shouldn't open that door. Like it or not, we're in that brave new world, and it might not be long before your boss is literally getting under your skin. Daniel Seberg, CNN, Cincinnati.
Oh, come on. That's got to be the ultimate implant pun. Did you guys catch that? It might not be long before your employer gets under your skin for a whole new reason, literally. Wait a second. You mean to tell me, Pastor Billy, if I am not willing to get a microchip implant, I might still have to just to keep my job? Hey, it's almost, Christina, like we're getting boxed in. That's the kind of the conclusion, I think so. But that's still not all. Get this. They've covered all the bases, folks. They've had a long time to think this baby out. You see, if you're not willing to get an implant, and if you are willing to lose your job over it, it might soon become mandatory to get one. You don't think so, folks? Then why is our Congress having discussions like this? Watch this one.
And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over.
I think the real concern that most people have is that, at some point the government would say, line up and get your chip.
Oh, come on. Not in America. Hey, that guy was elected as our Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. They predicted he's going to rule on it before his tenure's up. I wonder how much time he's got left. Folks, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of thinking that this is what's a little bit different about the days we live in. Somebody's just a little bit serious about implementing this mark of the beast thing. How about you? When? The Bible said you're going to see this when you are that generation, when you are living in the last days. And get this, folks, what's really interesting is how many of these microchip implants that they're wanting you and I to get this, they have a unique power source which just happens to recharge itself on the fluctuation of body temperature. And it just so happens that one man who worked in the biomed field for 32 years said, quote, over $1.5 million was spent by our government to find the two places in the body that temperature changes most rapidly so they could develop a power source out of it. And can anybody guess, after $1.5 million, where the best two places on the body are? Direct quote, in the forehead, right below the hairline, and in the back of the hand. Wait a second. Lillian, that totally makes sense. Because you moms know. That's the old-fashioned way of checking temperature on your kids. Whoa. People of God, you better wake up. I wish I was making this up. If you are here today and you are not a Christian, you need to get saved, and you need to get saved now. Why? Because tomorrow might be too late. And if you're here today and you are a Christian, then one last time, get motivated and live for Jesus. And I will say this is a warning, a heart warning. If the last 10 weeks on this study on Bible prophecy has left you bummed out and freaked out, it shows that something is wrong with your heart. Why? Because the Bible is clear. As a Christian, we should be longing for his appearing. Not running from it, not scared of it, not hiding out from it. We should be longing for his appearing. Do we not realize, Christian, that one day this world is going to blow sky high? Then where do we get off acting like this is all there is to life? Do we not realize that Bible prophecy and the book of Revelation is a message not of fear, it's a book of hope and of victory? Why? Because we serve the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and one day he's coming back to get his bride, the church. We win. Therefore, we are going to conclude our series on that note of victory, and we're going to take a look at the rapture, but this time from God's point of view. You better get ready, folks, because it's coming a whole lot sooner than you think. In fact, maybe from God's point of view, maybe he's on the backside of Jupiter, headed this way. And he's going to be here real soon. You think I'm kidding? Folks, if you're saved, we're going home. And it might look something like this. Let's watch.
I hear a sound of a mighty rushing wind.